Okay, so today we're talking about landforms. And you're like, what's a landform? I'm going to tell you, you're welcome. First of all, landform, it's exactly what it sounds like, how the land is formed or shaped. Okay, so like land, earth, right? How the land is formed or shaped. First, we're going to talk about mountains because they're easy. You know what a mountain is, right? It is a tall and steep landform made of rocks and earth. That's a mountain right there, right? You may not know this, but groups of mountains are called ranges. And some famous mountain ranges, the Rocky Mountains, those are here in the United States, out in the western half of the United States. The Andes Mountains, the Himalaya Mountains, home to Mount Everest, and the Ural Mountains. Those are all mountain ranges we're going to talk about this year. So mountains, tall, steep landform made of rocks and earth. Boom. Here we go. We have some plains, okay? Plains are low flat areas covered in grasses. Obviously, that's what's in this picture. Plains. Okay. Some famous plains are the Great Plains. Pretty much the middle of the United States is called the Great Plains. It all looks like this. And it's often used as farmland. Just so you know, fancy word for farming is called agriculture. So you could say the plains are often used as farmland, or you could say the plains are often used for agriculture, because that's just a fancy word for farming, okay? Don't let it freak you out. Next up is island. You guys know what an island is. You know you want to go there. Land surrounded by water, right? So one island is one piece of land surrounded by water. Some famous islands are going to be Cuba and Haiti in the Caribbean, Great Britain. You have Australia, and while we typically think of islands as these tropical places with like palm trees and that kind of stuff, you've also got other kinds of islands in places like Iceland, right? So that's going to be super far north in the northern hemisphere. So pretty chilly, not a place with a sandy beach, but an island nonetheless because it is a piece of land surrounded by water. Next up, we got an archipelago. That's a word you probably never heard before. Okay, an archipelago is a chain or a group of islands. See how this picture has all these little bitty islands all in one place? That's an archipelago. Okay, some famous archipelagos, Hawaii, right? I know a lot of my students want to go there. Hawaii is an archipelago, a group of islands. Japan is a country that is an archipelago or a group of islands. And the Bahamas in the Caribbean are a chain or a group of islands. Isthmus. That's super fun to say. Isthmus. Anyways, moving on. An isthmus is a narrow land bridge connecting two larger areas. So you see between these two yellow lines, like you've got a skinny little piece of land. That's going to be an isthmus, okay? A couple of famous isthmuses around the world. You've got the country of Panama, and then just the larger area of Central America. We're going to study those soon, okay? A peninsula, land with water on three sides, right? Boom, 1, 2, 3, peninsula, okay? It's not an island. There's not water on all sides, but it's land with water on three sides. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Famous peninsulas, Florida. I know a lot of my students are interested in places like Miami or Orlando. Okay, those are in Florida, which is a peninsula off the United States. The Baja Peninsula, the Yucatan Peninsula, those are both in Mexico. The Iberian Peninsula is in Europe, but those are going to be famous peninsulas. Okay, in addition to landforms, we've got bodies of water. An ocean, the largest body of water on Earth. You've got the sea. It's kind of a large area where the ocean and the land meet up. Okay. A lake, water surrounded by land, so like the opposite of an island. A river. Most of my students are familiar with a river, right? Like it's water that's going to the sea, to the ocean. And lastly, we have a canal. That might be new for you. We're going to learn about the Panama Canal this year, but the canal is a man-made waterway used for boats. Okay, so we're going to learn about the Panama Canal, maybe a little bit about the Suez Canal. You're going to learn about canals this year, but the thing about canals is when we talk about it, it is a man-made waterway as opposed to all of these other naturally occurring waterways. This episode of Weird But True, Lake Hillier in Australia is completely and naturally pink. Nobody dyed it that way. Like, that's a real lake. I want to go there so bad, it's not even funny. Scientists actually aren't quite sure why this lake is pink. They think it has to do with bacteria in the water, but they don't know. All I know is it looks awesome and I want to go there. All right, thanks for joining me. See you next time.